H on the track, boys.
Tengo todo lo que tengo, no busco cualquiera, un mal deseo. Tengo todo lo que tengo, no busco cualquiera, es un mal deseo. De noche siento el olor, casi loca por tu amor. No quisiste mi calor, me dejaste sin razón. De noche siento el olor, casi loca por tu amor. No quisiste mi calor, me dejaste sin razón. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quieres más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quieres más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara. Tengo todo lo que tengo, no busco cualquiera, un mal deseo. Tengo todo lo que tengo, no busco cualquiera, es un mal deseo. En la noche siento el olor, casi loca por tu amor. No quisiste mi calor, me dejaste sin razón. En la noche siento el olor, casi loca por tu amor. No quisiste mi calor, me dejaste sin razón. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quiero más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quieres más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quieres más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara.
Vas a ver mi puta cara.
Tengo todo lo que tengo, no busco cualquiera, un mal deseo. Tengo todo lo que tengo, no busco cualquier...
On the track, boys.
Mi gente, mi gente, mi gente, bienvenidos, saludos, konnichiwa, guten morgen, bonjour, guten morgen, and hello. Welcome to Los Lobos de la Lucha Libre, your weekly CMLL recap show of the Viernes Espectacular. I am El Buntador Segundo. And this show is not this show without Los Lobos. So, El Jefe, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
And also with us, we have Papa Also Will. Papa Also, say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay. So we are here talking about Viernes Espectacular from this past week. That was August 1st, 2025. A very fun show, I thought. Very fun show. We're going to go over it right now, and we're going to jump right into it. So we start off with a relevo sencillo of one fall. We have on the technical side, Dragon Legendario and Shelhua, who we haven't seen in a little bit on Viernes Espectacular. It was nice to see him back. Versus on the Rudo side, Guerrero Maya Jr. and Infarto. So we got the technicals coming up with the Triunfo technicals in this one, with Dragon Legendario pinning Infarto and Shelhua submitting Guerrero Maya Jr. My quick takes on it, I love that headlock with leg whip thing that Shelhua has been doing. That is just really cool. Looks like it hurts a lot. Great back and forth with all four of these luchadors. Lots of high energy. Yeah, it was a great opener. This is the type of opener that you want. Really great pacing. I felt like it got everyone going in it. Great pop for Guerrero Maya Jr. He sounded like he got a really good pop when he came in. And yeah, and Primo, Agent Lo-Fi. Hello. I don't like the way this green screen is clipping. Anyway, El Jefe, let's start with you. What did you think?
I thought this was Trent. No, I was kidding. No, I agree with it. I agree with our Primo Agent Lo-Fi here. You know what? After a crazy week, this has been in wrestling, leading into everything. This was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna repeat this throughout the episode, so I'm just gonna put it out there now. This felt like a return to form for what we normally expect from Viernes Espectacular. It felt more be like, hey, this is a Friday show for CMLL. Let's give fans a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen some of these folks on our screen, especially on Fridays. And I was happy to see this combination of individuals. I've been slowly been becoming a bigger fan of Guerrero Maya Jr., and I'm so happy he was here. But yeah, this was a fun opener. Everybody got to show off and showcase what they got. There was a lot of fun, stuff. And this was definitely a fun way to get the crowd ready for what was to come for the remainder of the show. So this was fantastic. I love this one.
All right, Papa, also, what did you think about our opener?
It was a delicious appetizer. I loved it. Every little morsel of it. It was a great opener. I just loved it. I thought it set up the energy for the night really well. And these four they're just fun to watch. I love all four of them. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be great. And it was great. Loved it. It got me excited for the rest of the evening.
Yeah. Yep. So, like I said, we got a triunfo técnico in this one, and the energy kept going in our next match, which another relevo sencillo, but this one was best 2 out of 3 pinfalls. This was our Amazonas action, where on our técnica side, we had Lluvia and La Jarochita, Los Chicas Indonables versus Persephone and Reina Isis. And I'm just going to get this out of the way real quick. Reina de nuestros corazones, Persephone. All right. Now that we got that out of the way. So in this match, we had a triunfo rudas, where the technicas they took the first pinfall with a really cool double pin. The rudas took the second pinfall with an even cooler double pin, just to outdo themselves on the third pinfall, where they ended up getting this really fun looking like conga train situation pin going for that third pinfall. So our Rudas do come out with the win in this one. Papa also, Amazonas. What'd you think?
My girls, my Amazonas. Oh, of course, Persephone, who is my girl, and Reina Isis, which I was super excited that these two were partnered up. I was like, yes, this is going to be amazing. And of course, Lluvia and La Jorejita were amazing. All these women I was just like, hell yes. Girls, bring it, as they always do. But man, I just love watching me some Persephone. Just, so good. So good.
Yes, El Jefe.
This is the Amazonas action that I was waiting for. Not to say that things that we've gotten last week or the week before wasn't it for me, but I feel like this definitely hit what it needed to. I think this was definitely a solid match between these two. Again, commentary also wanted us to reminded everybody that this was not for the tag team championships. Spoiler alert, now it's going to be, thanks to Informa earlier this evening, which I'll talk about in Noticias. But I love Lluvia, I love La Jarochita, they're great. But of course, I can never bet against, the powerhouses Persephone and Reina Isis. I'm very interested to see before Aniversario what, is in store specifically for Persephone and Reina Isis, because I smell a qualifier for a certain pay-per-view at the end of this month happening in London happening. So I'm going to talk about that during Noticias too, because we are setting up more stuff for that. But this was awesome. This was great. I got Mama Laguilla hooked on the Reina Isis theme song now, so I call it a success in my book.
Nice. Yeah, all four of these Amazonas did a fantastic job. They always do. Very interesting to see Persephone's mic skills at the end of that, hitting that
Right?
promo. That was because
We
that's
don't get to
something
see her on the
really,
mic too often. Yeah.
yeah, she did really good. Sounded really good. Great flow, really really dramatic with the presentation. How did you feel about Las Chicas Indonables being booed and then also coming out in black? What do you, Mr. Psychologist person? You got
Well,
any theories on this?
well, first, before we do that, El Buntador, tell me, how does this card make you feel? No, I'm just kidding. I can do that because I have a psychology degree. I'm just kidding, y'all. Don't please don't do that. No. So I will. The way I would chalk this up to is a case of what we see not just here but across any promotion. When you have your, in this case, we have the técnicos, which is Lluvia and La Jarochita, and your rudas, which are technically Persephone and Reina Isis. But again, this is one of those instances where we find ourselves, quote unquote, rooting for the bad guys because we love them so much. And I don't even want to call Persephone or Reina Isis like full on like 100% rudas. They're like, if
Right.
there was a Spanish term for like the anti-heroes or the in-betweeners, like I feel that they lean more towards that. But yeah, I think it's just because Persephone and Reina Isis are so over, especially in the last year and a half or so, the last year that we've been covering CMLL, it seems that the stock from the crowd and the audience has turned in favor of Persephone and Reina Isis. And especially, I also think that, not to say that because of their exposure outside of this, but because both of them have been working, the independents in these states, as well as, appearing on AEW and Ring of Honor, especially Ring of Honor television. Reina Isis has been popping up here and there, and so has La Catalina. So those Amazonas are getting more exposure to bring over to CMLL. So I think it's just a case that, everybody loves a bad guy, especially when it's these two girls. They be, breaking necks and signing checks is what I say.
Yeah, right. Papa, also, how did you feel about Las Chicas Indonables, Lluvia and La Jarochita, coming out wearing all the black and then getting booed by the Reina Mexico crowd?
Well, it's I liked the all black, and I thought, it's just one of the you're going to make choices, guys, and the audience is either going to love you or not love you, depending on what you're wanting. Do you want them not to love you? If not, then yay, you did your job well. Do you want them to love you? Then okay, then you obviously need to reevaluate what you did. But I thought it was great. I thought it added a new energy to the event, the match.
Okay,
and I really liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was on purpose, I'm assuming.
Well,
it felt like it was they were meant to be booed, I thought.
Yeah, I feel like lately Lluvia and La Jarochita have been like dipping their toes into the ruda,
Right.
ways. So
and
not.
I can see that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see them being kind of like the Mean Girls.
Yep.
Like totally. I mean, just look at this picture. I mean, it just screams Mean Girls.
Well, we also kind of saw it at the end too, when Persephone and Reina were on the mic in that promo afterwards too. Like even though it was like a short, like 5 seconds of it, the camera panned up to, the Mean Girl attitude of Lluvia and La Jarochita being like the ooh, and before they walked away outside too.
That was good.
Which was a nice touch. Good job, camera peoples.
Yeah. But yeah, at the end of this match, Persephone and Reina Isis do challenge Las Chicas Indonables for their CMLL Women's Tag Team Championships. Probably going to be at the Aniversario show. They did throw that at the end.
Yep.
So.
In Forma tonight, they confirmed that they are going to be challenging at the Aniversario show.
Sweet. So more to come on that, and I can't wait. The energy kept going though, because we had our first Relevo Australiano match of the night, which was best Relevo Australiano, best 2 out of 3 pinfall. On the Técnico side, I say Técnico because I think some of these guys are rudos. But anyway, on the technical side, we had Hijo de Blue Panther, Dark Panther in Blue Panther Jr., dare I say La Familia Pantera, even though that's not what they're officially called. And then on the rudo side, we had Los Arroteros, El Filino Jr., Hijo de Stuca Jr., and El Cobarde, your current trio's champion. So the way this broke down, like I said, this was Relevo Australiano, best 2 out of 3 pinfall. First pinfall went to the Rudos with a really fun 3 pin at the same time, triple pin at the same time. That's the word I was looking for. Second pinfall went to the Technicos, another really fun triple pin. And then our third pinfall went to the Rudos, where Hijo de Stuca Jr. ends up pinning Hijo de Blue Panther for a Triunfo Rudos. This match, again, a lot of great energy. I felt like this match really showed Los Arteros as the champs. You know what I mean? Like, it showed that why they were the champs. All 4 of these luchadors, same thing. Like all 4 of these luchadors, they can fly. Dark Panther's big. He's a big boy. Blue Panther Jr. was handing out backbreakers like he was Atlantis Senior. It was fantastic. Papa Oso, what'd you think?
Well, I love the Panthers.
Yeah.
I really do. Because at first I was like, okay. I've seen all of these guys do their thing, but for some reason in this particular match, I was really kind of rooting for the Panthers.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was because I've never been like, oh my gosh, the Panthers, blah 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 blah. But for some reason in this particular match, my eyes were on them the whole time, and I was watching everything they were doing, and there was a lot of good stuff happening in this match. And I thought that Rudos are going to be Rudos.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that, but I don't know. It was just like, Felina Jr. and they did great. I thought all 6 of these guys did amazing, as they normally do. But for some reason, I was so on, Blue Panther, Dark Panther, Blue Panther Jr. I don't know why. I've never been in the past necessarily that taken with them. But for some reason, there was something going on here that I was just like hyper focused on them.
Yeah, something clicked with them tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. So I thought this was a great match. I loved it.
Yeah, definitely. We Triunfo goes to the Rudos. My last little bit is Hijo de Stuca Jr. I know you tried that Stuca special, but your dad still, you need to practice a little bit. Because your dad still has like I don't know what Suga Jr. I think it's his hang time in the air that he has perfected, and like the arch Hijo de Stuca Jr. Like he tried it. And I saw what you were doing. But El Jefe. Well, what did you think of this match?
I actually really like this match. It's been a hot minute since we got to see the whole entire, family of Panthers in the ring. We've mostly been getting like Blue Panther Jr. and Dark Panther together, especially over in MLW over the last couple of shows we've seen them. So it's really nice to see everybody here in Arena Mexico once again. I had a blast with this one. I really enjoyed this one. I really, really did. I thought this was a lot of fun, and I think this is a return to form for the Panthers. I think I love Felino Jr., Hijo de Stuca Jr., and El Cobarde, but I think it was really nice to have the Panther family back together again. And it's like, oh yeah, now I remember why y'all kind of are awesome here in Arena Mexico.
Yep.
So I had a blast with this one.
Yeah, and to your credit, Agent Lo-Fi, I feel that that's also one of CMLL's strengths is that their trios division is so strong. That is where, and I think we've had this conversation already, but that's where like you get seen, unless you're like getting the big push, like Mystico or Atlantis Jr. or Mascara Dorada, like that's where you get seen is those trios, because we've been seeing some great trios matches as of late, some great Relevo Australianos between a lot of people that we normally don't get to see that often. So definitely great match. The Rudos pick up the triunfo in this one. Moving to our next match, where we have the Técnico is another. It's another Relevo Australiano. Best 2 out of 3 pinfalls. On our Técnico side, we had Star Jr., Flip Gordon, and Capitan Suicida versus our Rudos of Doki, Okamura, and Yutani. Okay. So the Rudos get the triunfo in this one. The first pinfall went to the Técnicos. Star Jr. pins Okamura, and Capitan Suicida pins Yutani. Second pinfall goes to the Rudos, where Yutani pins Star Jr. and Okamura pins Capitan Suicida. Our third pinfall goes to the Rudos, where Doki pins Star Jr. Yeah, this is why I'm like kind of waffling on this. Really early on in the match, Flip Gordon went for a reverse moonsault type situation off of the second turnbuckle to the outside, and when he landed, he immediately grabbed his knee. And then medical staff just kind of like swarmed in, really, and they ended up having to cart him off. And the official, okay, Flip had he had a surgery on his knee. Didn't see exactly what, but definitely out for more than so it is legit. Because when I looked online, there was scuttlebutt that it was kayfabe, but it is legit. That is a bummer. Flip Gordon, we hope we are sending healing vibes to you, and we hope that we see you back in a ring sooner rather than later, but please take the time that you need to recover. Having said that, once Flip got carted off, again, this happened really early on in the match. It really turned on. Match really turned into a 2-on-3, and when you have wrestlers as sharp as Doki, Okamura, and Yutani, you just cards stacked against you, and Capitan Suicida and Star Jr. just couldn't pull it out. Hebe, what'd you think?
So first and foremost, shout out to Flip. We're sending you all the vibes and the heals and the prayers and the things like that. Hopefully we get to see you soon, especially since you are a champion. And I like Flip anyways. But just a couple of things about this match. When Flip went down and had to be carted out, I want to give Captain Suicida and Star Jr., their flowers, because it became a 2-on-3, but it didn't feel like a 2-on-3. It felt like they were pulling the energy for Flip, who was there spiritually, which was great. It's no secret that Utani has become one of my new faves here in CMLL, and Okamura is just the OG. But as somebody who covers New Japan, it made my heart so happy to see Doki here in CMLL. I was a little triggered with House of the Torture, though. I was like, oh, God, I forgot about this. But I really love Doki, and I've missed Doki. Him and Despy. I want to see. We almost got the whole Avengers of like these junior heavyweights in CMLL. The only person we're missing now is like, bring over Despy. I want to see Despy in Arena Mexico at some point. But yeah. But this was a lot of fun. And again, when Flip went down, I was like, oh no, what are we going to do? And then they just finished the match like normal. I was like, professionalism as is finest. But No, I agree with you, Agent Lo-Fi. Doki and a couple of the other New Japan folks are honorary luchadors. Like, so good. I miss Doki. I miss Doki in action, I should say, because we haven't seen Doki in action in New Japan for a hot minute. So it was nice to see him here in CMLL and wrestling and be like, there's a reason why I love you.
And I love his pants. I love those pants that he had on.
The
Those
whole
are fantastic.
attire was great. I was just like, I'm here for
Yeah.
this, Doki.
It
I
was
love
good.
you.
It was good. Papa also.
I really like this match. It's one of those, he hurt himself. Did he really hurt himself, or was it more, for show or what? But I do love the fact that it was like the show must go on. So they just kept going, which was great. And of course, this one has, Okamura, and who I love. I absolutely love that man, because it's just, we've talked about it many, many, many times, is this whole idea of the generational wrestlers. You have the sort of older generation who are, they're a little slower, but they're doing what all the young ones are doing too. And I have to give him credit for it, because I don't know if I could do it at his age, honestly.
Right.
I was like, seriously. So I give mad props to Okamura. But yeah, I really like this. I know, and I'm really kind of liking, the more I see him, I'm kind of liking Capitan Suicida more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've only seen him twice now, I think. And I liked him the first time, but I really kind of liked him more this time around. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just really, and of course our whole Asian representation was fantastic.
yep.
And I just love that. And they were great. God, they were great. I really need to watch some more. I think I need to watch New Japan, I think. I really think I need to get into that, because
what? Hey, Will. You probably shouldn't say that out loud, because I can convince you to at some point.
Yeah, I know, but I also said it out loud. I also said it out loud with my husband standing right over there. So so I know that he will
talking CMLL.
He will be.
We'll talk afterwards, I promise.
And I agree with Agent Love. I think out of the 2 times I've seen Captain Suicida, I agree. I think he's got a lot of potential, and I think that's what I liked about it, because what I was watching this time was so different than the last time I watched him, and you can already see that he's starting to grow. He's starting to okay, this is what works. This is what doesn't work. Okay, that didn't work. Let me change things up a bit, but I think he might be really, really good in the future. So I'm kind of hoping.
Yeah. Last real quick shout out to Doki and Utani at the very end with that cool slingshot flippy leg drop thing that they did on the Star Junior. And shout out to Star Junior for being an active participant in that. But it was, and Mikey, please correct me if I'm wrong, because you watch a hell of a lot more wrestling than I do. I have never seen that move before. I've seen variations, but not with a full-on flip into a double leg drop.
No, you're absolutely right. There have been some similarities in here, but yeah, this was definitely Lucha Libre at its finest. And really, in all honesty, whilst other promotions, specifically in the States, do a pretty good job of trying to imitate it, nothing will beat the original copies of it. So
nice.
This is why I have fallen in love with CMLL in the year that we've been covering this.
Yup, that's why we love Lucha. So true. So true. But the energy and the excitement didn't stop there, because now we have our favorite ghost ship, El Galeon Fantasma, Zandican Jr., Difunto and Barbosa, versus Templario, Papa Oso's baby daddy, Titan and Neon in a Relevo Australiano. Best 2 out of 3 pinfalls. But before, good people, mi gente, before we go further, I have a quick public service announcement. So
this is not an episode of Seinfeld.
Hey, you know what? If we whatever show is the closest to Halloween when we review CMLL, we are dressing up as El Galeón del Fantasma for that show.
Yeah,
with frill shirt and everything.
I have a ton of frilly shirts in my costume to shop.
Of course you do.
Normalize them frilly shirts. Normalize them. So we had Galeon Fantasma versus Neon Titan and Templario, and this was Australiano best 2 out of 3 pinfall. First fall went to Galeon Fantasma. Second fall went to the Technicals by DQ because Galeon Fantasma decided to be a bunch of bullies and ripped off Papa Oso's baby daddy's mask. Didn't know he had that short of hair, but that's a discussion for another time. And then our third pinfall went to Galeon Fantasma, where Barbosa gets the pin on Templario. I had a lot of fun in this match, as you saw. I thought it was really good. The only thing it missed, and maybe I went to check for mail, but the only thing it missed was I missed was Defunto type roping and doing the tightrope into the launching leg drop thing. It was short. I will agree with that. Left you wanting more. Not sure if it was shortened because of what happened with Flip, or I don't know. It was short, but it was really good. I'm gonna shut up now. Jefe, dígame.
Agent Lo-Fi basically took my only critique from this match is because of how short it was. I was like, no, stop, give me more. But even in that short amount of time, I had such a blast watching this one. The action was frenzied. It was nonstop. I was a mess by the end of it, both from the action and for other reasons. Hey, listen, we're called the Biconics for a reason, so I get to ogle everybody equally. So we'll just leave it at that. But honestly, I have had such a great time. El Galeón del Fantasma is like one of my favorite factions across any promotion that I watch, and I watch a lot of wrestling, y'all. But of course, I love that anytime Templario and Titan get to team up is always a treat for me as well, because they both work so well against each other and with each other because they know each other so well. But I have to keep saying it. I'm gonna Neon is just having an incredible year, and how fast the rocket has been strapped to him and how much he has soared into the stratosphere of CMLL. Just being out here doing great things, and also, just recently coming off of a win last week of, our Torneo de Plata winner over here. So this was fun. Again, the only biggest critique I have is it was really, really short, which means to tell me CMLL, run it back again.
That's right. Run it back. Papa, also, how did you feel about your baby daddy getting beat?
Well, I was not happy about it, but okay. All I know is I know when they took the mask off, I was just like, it made me want to get pregnant even more. It did. I was like, oh, okay. Hello. No. Anyway, so but in all seriousness, this is actually a really great match.
Templario, you are Will's baby daddy.
You are the baby daddy. Overall, I thought this match was super fun, and I agree across the board that it was way too damn short. And I was a little surprised that it was so short because of the caliber of the wrestlers they had. I mean, this is like a showcase match. I mean, this is like a match where you're like, these 6 men are like prime specimens of what we are and what we do. And I was like, and I thought it happened so fast. I was just like, Wait.
Yeah.
So, but overall, I love this match. I thought it was great. Yeah, I hate the fact that my baby daddy was pinned, but that's he was thrown off because of the mask removal. I get it.
That's right.
So I have no ill towards him at all because I get it. But no, it was really great, and I really liked it. And I agree, this is a great faction. But I also have to say that Templario, Titan, and Neon, they're great together too. I really liked this trio. Like
Yeah.
true. Yeah, exactly. I was just like,
Yeah.
that's why I was so surprised that they ran it so short. Because this is like, if we didn't have what was happening in the main event, this would have been a great main event match.
You would have, yeah, definitely.
Just give it more time and just let them show off, basically, because this is a great group, and I agree. I just think that it was just too short.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. And the only other note I have is more frilly shirts, but y'all, more frilly shirts. So, do you like what you've been watching? Do you like the wrestling? Do you like what you've been watching and you like the wrestling? Then please, by all means, check us out. We are the BC WrestlePod by Conics Wrestling Podcast. You can find us on the interwebs. We are on Instagrams. We are on Thread. We are on YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky. We are on Kick. You're probably watching us on one of these things. So, hit a subscription, hit a thumbs up. That whole thing. You can check out our merch. We got some great merch over at BC WrestlePod Spring fourthwall.com. We have 3 very special editions going on right now. We have our Hot Boy Summer, which is still going strong. We have our Grapple with Pride series, which I'm gonna let Mikey talk about it because I need a script for that. Because there's
so on top of our regular collection of merch for all our review teams and our summer collection, which will be disappearing at the very end of this month, so you only got a little bit of time left over. We also have our Pride collection, which will be remaining with us until next year's Pride, in which I decide to do a different design. But part of the proceeds from that Pride collection gets donated to the charity organization Point of Pride. And then, of course, we have our what I've dubbed it in so many different ways, but anti-establishment, anti-fascism, overthrow the patriarchy, if you will. Si se puede, if you will. We don't tap collection, which is very anti, what is going on in this country right now. And part of the proceeds from that collection will be donated to the California Youth Immigration Justice Fund, which, as it states, helps kids, teens, and young adults financially and legally, and regardless of whatever their immigration is, of whether they are children of people who came over to this country legally or illegally, or, if they are the thousands upon thousands of children that we are trying to save because they are currently sitting in these detention centers without food and water. I can't stick up the middle finger because we will get demonetized, so I'm going to go the British way with pinkies up. Be like, if you don't care about children, then you got bigger problems. So, yeah.
Yep. And then if you really want to see how much we like wrestling, well, you should check out some of the other shows. And we got a packed week coming up. So on Thursday, that is tomorrow, August 7th, we have our GCW in Japan review, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. On Friday, August 8th, we have our TNA review, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Saturday, August 9th, we have our MLW Blood and Thunder watch along, which we are going to be having some of our CMLL talent showing up. Very excited for it. That starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I heard that hack, Adolfo the Nerdy Puerto Rican, will be there. I'm sorry that you all have to deal with him and not me. And then on Sunday, August 10th, we have our review of WWE.
You said it was so much into. No, listen. It's okay. The WWE boys understand. We understand. We're going into this half-heartedly, but we also come to the agreement that we are not going to punish the talent that we actually really like in that promotion for some questionable decisions.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. So, and this upcoming for the rest of August, we got a lot of stuff going on. Other things that I didn't mention, we have our G1 coverage every week. We have Mikey and that hack of Open the Nerd Puerto Rican. They're putting out summaries of great summaries of the week's action. So if you can't, because of the time zone and all that with the G1 Classic or the G1 Climax, I should say, if you can't watch the matches, you can get caught up with that. And we have Progress Wrestling stuff coming up. I don't think we have any Maple Leaf coming up this month, or do we have Maple Leaf coming up?
In September, we will, and I'm very interested to see how that goes because their next pay-per-view, Sacred Ground, and this will be a first for me as a viewer of any type of wrestling, that the venue they're going to be on is on the grounds of like a Native American tribe's like whole entire area. So they're going to be at this ground where the Native American reservation, or the Sacred People of Canada, I should say. So that's going to be interesting. But the crazy thing that's going to happen this month is that Yo Boy somehow got conned by Andrew and his friend Sam. I will be entering the world of Juggalo Championship Wrestling as
that's right. We got the 2-day war.
CW and Juggalo. Yes, if you heard it correctly, Insane Clown Posse's wrestling promotion, the 2-day war, GCW versus JCW. I have no idea what to expect. And then Andrew and I are possibly looking at adding a Rev Pro UK because it's not like we don't watch enough wrestling as it is.
That's right. So that's what we got coming up. So check it out. But now let us talk about our main event. Por el Campeonato Mundial Semicompleto de CMLL. We have El Campeón Averno versus the challenger Michael Jacob Freeman, MJF. And we have a new champion. MJF is your new champ. Let's just cut to the brass tack and knuckles. Papa, also, what did you think?
I don't know how I feel about this match. Honestly. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not saying I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not all that. I don't know. I'm not. It's not that anything I'm going to say is going to sound super negative, and I don't mean it that way. I'm like, I wasn't impressed with this match.
Okay.
Maybe I can help out a little bit.
Okay, by all means, help out because I got nothing.
Again, this is just my projection, and Will, you can tell Papa, so you can tell me I'm completely off base. I think the best way to put this is the most Americanized CMLL match we had this episode, because this felt like something I would see here in the States, with either, well, I mean, MJF is part of AEW, so I felt like I was watching an extended episode of Grand Slam Mexico, if that makes any sense, where it was, AEW star MJF taking on CMLL star Averno, and it just happened to be for the, for a CMLL championship, so to speak. Because the way that MJF won this is very like American heel style. It's like ref is distracted, dick kick city, go for the pin, and then you win. We've come to know that most rudos here in CMLL will just be upfront about brutalizing or ripping masks and things off like that. So they're in your face about it. US rudos or heels are very trying to be sneaky about it so the ref doesn't see and cause a DQ or get it thrown out. So when it comes to when I speak, I was a little perplexed, but then I'm looking at the longer picture because, again, what I'm watching, all the wrestling promotions. So it's like, I think I know where we're going, but I'm gonna wait until we get there a little bit later when I talk. But hopefully, I mean, again, I might be far off base, but I felt like this was the most Americanized CMLL match this episode because the way that MJF won is very like, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I didn't dislike the match. I don't know. There was something that was sort of right. That's cool. Yeah. I don't know. It was just maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was because it was so Americanized that my brain was just like, nope, nope. And I agree. I thought I did. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with what you said. I think that's correct. I think that might be what it is. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I was not as moved by this match as I was every other match in the show. I think, and maybe that's because I'm so jaded to American style wrestling that I was just like, I sort of tuned it out. Maybe I don't know. Um, I don't know. It was really weird. It's hard for me
Yeah,
to explain.
yeah. I enjoyed the match, but the tone shift from the rest of the night was definitely very palpable. MJF, I felt he slowed the match down to his pace, by rolling out often, and causing a lot of breaks. Averno did get to bully MJF, and he got to be Averno, which was great. But I felt like pacing wise, MJF really had the match to his pace, which felt really odd with the rest of the night, because the rest of the night just felt like really, a lot of high energy and whatnot. Again, not saying the match was bad. I thought it was good, and also looking at the long game where we all kind of know, or we all kind of think we know what's coming up. It sets it up. But we do have to point this out. John Cruz made it to Arena Mexico before Serpentico. If you know, you know. Anyway, so MJF is your new CMLL semi-completo champion. The song is more typical mix. I mean, yeah, there we go. So there we go. But yeah, MJF is the new champ. And that was it. That was our show for this week. So what do we got coming up next week? I think we got another barn burner coming up this week. So first we're going to be starting off with Fuego, Rey Cometa, and Espiritu Negro versus Raider, Espanto Jr., and Dark Magic, a trio that we haven't seen in a while back on Viernes Spectacular. So I'm happy to see Raider, Espanto Jr., and Dark Magic. After that, we have another Little Level Australiano where we have I apologize. This is a four-way where we have Stigma, Shelwa, Arcalis, and Rio Metallico versus Cranio, Infarto, and the Calavera twins, Calavera Juniors Uno y Dos. So that's going to be a very fun match. After that, we have Felino and El Valiente versus Esfinge and Rey Bucanero. So be expecting a lot of mask ripping in that one. After that, we have a Templario versus Barbosa, which was set up this past week. And our semi-main event por el Campeonato de Peso Abierto, MLW, for the MLW
Open weight championship. Yeah.
We have Ultimo Guerrero versus Blue Panther. Why I put Atlantis, I don't know. I have Atlantis.
Dare you?
I know, but it's Blue Panther, and if Blue Panther wins, I'm gonna prep some streamers. So
I will cry.
Wins. I want to
watch it, and I will cry on stream again.
I want to see Blue Panther win that championship. That'd be
seriously
awesome. And in our main event, in a lucha estelar, we have Místico, Máscara Dorada, and Atlantis Jr. versus Hechicero, Ángel de Oro, and Defunto, our favorite undead wrestler.
Heck yeah.
And that's it from me. It is time, mi gente, for news. Las noticias.
I love our DIY jingle. I love to see it. Alrighty. So, oh wait, what happened here? I got you. There we go. Bam! Back with the noticias. Alrighty. I was like, I must have pressed something. So I got a lot to cover, especially thanks to Informa. We got some CMLL stuff. So first and foremost, I will talk about Informa things and then go into everything else that I have on my slides. So Informa dropped a lot of information. So first and foremost, it was officially confirmed that at the 92nd Aniversario show, Persephone and Reina Isis will be challenging Lluvia and La Jarochita for those tag team championships at the anniversary show. I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm here for it. We also got confirmation that August 18th, because we got a glimpse at our next challenger for the new title that MJF won. So it will be Sandokan Jr. versus MJF at August 18th for that title. So I cannot wait. We also got a confirmed date, and for people to choose the matches for essentially Night of Champions, which will be taking place Friday, September 26th. So this is at the end of September. We got the Grand Prix at the end of this month, and then the champion battles at the end of September. And they announced a lot of the championships and choices, because this is something that the crowd and everybody at home can vote for. So of who chooses what. So to quickly go through everything, here the championships that are up for grabs. We have the essentially, I'm going to translate this really quickly. We have our Micro Estrellas title. So our champion Tengu will either be facing Que Monito, Que Malito, or let me see. Excuse me if I mispronounce this, but Camuel, I think is how you pronounce it. So one of those three will be facing Tengu for the championship. For the Pequeños Estrellas, we have our champion Dragoncito, and he will either be facing Angelito, Pequeño Piro, or Galaxy. So that should be fun. Next up for the Campeonato Nacional Femenil. So our champion India Sui will either be taking on Olympia, Hera, or Kira. For the Campeonato Nacional, so the National Trios Championships, vote for this. Our champions of Felino Jr., Stuka Jr., and El Comadre could either be facing Stigma, Arkelis, and Rey Metalico. They could be facing the Panther family, or they could be facing Adrenalina, Fantástico, and Astro Oriental. So those are newer folks to me. Máscara Doradas for his Mundial Histórico de Peso Welter. Gotta be voting for this one every day. It's either Utani, Captain Suicida, or Dulce Gardenia. I was like, I'm gonna be so for real. I'm going to vote for Utani every single day because I want to see that matchup. So y'all heard it first. And Agent Lo-Fi, I agree with you. We're going to vote for Utani every single day. But I would be happy either way for those three. For Templarios, Campeonato Mundial de Peso Medio, CMLL, he will be facing Neon, Milano Tres Jr., or Star Jr. And then, as of right now, for el Campeonato Mundial Histórico de Peso Semi-Completo, Atlantis Jr., the champion, will either take on Difunto, Sueja, or Rugido. So I was like, Lord have mercy, these matches are about to be crazy.
Wow.
But yes, vote. Yeah, you can vote every day. So that's a lot. Now let's get into these slides really quickly because there's a lot of information here still for upcoming stuff. So, as we mentioned before, MLW's Blood and Thunder is this Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And we have the full card here. The ones that we're going to focus on are the ones highlighted in red, which involve our CMLL talent. Okamura is participating in a 6-person scramble match, which is having him, Mr. Thomas, Mads Kruger, one of the Andersons, Ariel Dominguez, and Matthew Justice. So this is going to be crazy. Yeah, MLW is free. Yes, on the YouTube channel. So we will be live. I will be live with Adolfo on Saturday, watching it live. So, yes. We're also getting a Relampago match is what we call it here, but MLW is calling it a lightning match. Hate that still, but we're getting a lightning match, and this is like a somewhat of a rematch from a couple months ago where we're getting Paul London versus Neon.
And so, it was a match of Relampago in that the first time they met.
Yeah, so it's a round 2, same rules, but now in MLW, so that's going to be fun. And then, of course, in one of the opening rounds for the 2025 Opera Cup, the match I'm really excited for, Místico versus Ikuru Kwan. So that's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. So moving on in chronological order, Rev Pro just decided to drop this banger out of nowhere, leading into Forbidden Door weekend, which brings up to what I'm going to talk about from Dynamite tonight. As part of the 13-year anniversary for Rev Pro UK, their anniversary show will be held on Saturday, but on Friday, August 22nd, Rev Pro will be presenting and bringing back Global Wars UK, which will see the stars of Rev Pro, New Japan, Ring of Honor, and CMLL collide in the UK. So I'm excited. Andrew and I are figuring out what we want to do with this. If we're just going to watch it on our own, if we're going to review it officially, we're still working out the details. But yeah, Rev Pro is just like, you know what? It's not like it's a lot of wrestling anyways. Let's just drop this right here. Which brings me to what happened on Dynamite 2, because that is going to be part of Forbidden Door weekend as well. And AEW and New Japan's Forbidden Door is having something similar that went down at Wrestle Dynasty earlier this year. Mercedes Moné, Mercedes 8 belts, whatever you want to call her, because she gained 2 more over the course of the last 2 weeks or so. She will be putting her TBS championship on the line in a global fatal 4-way, where Mercedes will be defending the title against a AEW representative, a Stardom representative, and a CMLL representative. Tonight, AEW held their qualifier, and it was Alex Windsor who's going to Forbidden Door in that fatal 4-way. So over the next 2 weeks or so, we will be seeing Stardom and CMLL in some capacity figuring out their qualifiers, if they should have one, or they decide to choose of who's going to represent CMLL in that fatal 4-way at Forbidden Door, which makes me super excited. We also have, at the end of August, Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. And the reason I bring this up is because Hechicero is in the main event for the ROH Championship, taking on our champion, Bandido. God, this match has the potential. If Takeshita and Bandito is indication, I need Hechicero and Bandido to give me everything they got, because I need this match to also be on my top match list of 2025. But this is going to be a barn burner too. I cannot wait. Yeah, this is going to rule. This is going to bang. Cannot wait for this. Bandito's on a roll right now, and honestly, he's on the short track to be my favorite wrestler this year, so we'll see. Again, and we push all the way to September, MLW's Fightland. We've already announced a bunch of talent, which includes Templario, Atlantis, Ultimo Guerrero, Titan, Barbosa is also going to be here. We have Esfinge, Difunto, and then recently announced earlier, well, let me go back a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so Blue Panther, but also we got some new folks. We have Okamura is going to be in action here as well, so that's going to be fun. And Blue Panther Jr. will also be there as well. So there's a lot of CMLL talent involved in Fightland. So I don't know if that means we're going to have lots of matches or we're going to have battle royales, but that is a lot of CMLL talent as part of Fightland in September. So tickets are still on sale. This will be taking place Saturday, September 13th at North Richland Hills in Texas. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we push our way to October, where we are getting Fantastica Mania UK. So Rev Pro and CMLL, 2 shows, 1 day is going to be fantastic. As mentioned last week, we got, confirmation that Hechicero and Místico will be a part of the action. But just announced today, and this makes me super excited, we have our third CMLL representative who's going to be going across the pond to the UK, and that is Zandokan Jr. will be traveling to the UK for this in October. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm excited.
Bring your frilly shirt.
Yes, bring your Philly shirts because you are in the UK after all. But that is last noticias for this episode. I turn it back to El Buntador del Segundo to close us out.
All right, and that's it. That's our show for tonight. Please, if you get a chance, check out CMLL on the YouTubes. Join their channel. There's a lot of great wrestling going on. Like we had said, MLW is free. You can see some CMLL talent this weekend. Again, on the YouTube channels as well. Papa, also, you got anything else for us?
No, it was a pretty good episode. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah. All right. Primo, as always, gracias for joining us, and you two at home, thank you so much for joining us as well. We were really happy that you could join us. So please, always remember that I'm Biconic, you're Biconic, we're all Biconic. You get to finish your own story. Don't forget that. It's important. So, gents, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Johnny TV style. Sebastian! You're in the shot, you bald idiot! You fool! The other way! Go! Go!
tiene loco en la cabeza cuando me tocas. Siento que todo está bien, pero en verdad yo no sé si tú lo sientes también.